Greg, your background has really been on the bleeding edge of media. So here we are, and things are taking off, moving quickly. Where do you see the industry in 5 years?
5 years, wow. I don't even know where it's going to be in 5 months. um, I think the once you start to give consumers that taste of and the freedom of to watch what they want, when they want, on what device, you're never going to stop that. And at every research that comes out every quarter, you see how digital or advanced platform continues to grow, linear continues to decline, and I believe at some point digital will take over linear. I think there always will be linear channels. I mean, for live events, live sports, news, that kind of thing. But when I look at many of the content providers, many of the cable channels out there, there's no reason why all that content could not be on demand. And the key is to find a way to monetize it through dynamic ad insertion. I think that we have to get the advertisers and the agencies to buy into it. I think one of the things that's going to shift very quickly. Right now, they'll accept ratings live plus 3. I think very soon it's going to go live plus 7. There's talk of maybe live plus 30. Comcast a couple of weeks ago came out with the ODCR, on demand commercial rating, where they're willing to what they want to start experimenting with is putting fresh ads in all content from a C3 version, and then on day 4 inserting ads into that. I've seen demos on being able to dynamically insert ads and promos into DVR content. It has to be network based, but the technology's out there, and it's just a question of getting the business rules and principles behind it. I think once we start to be able to monetize completely advanced platforms, there's no stopping it. And I do believe many of the 200 channels we have, I think it's going to go down to a handful. Again, I think there's a level of appointment TV that's still going on, but when's the last really program that we had where you had to tune in that night and watch it? I think the other huge change that's going to happen in the industry is it's going to become more IP delivered. All our content's going to be delivered through the internet. I think the concept of cable delivery through a coax is going to come to an end. And then what's going to happen is, if I'm living in New York and I'm in a Time Warner system, but if it's all IP delivered, there's no reason I can't buy my service from Comcast or Verizon or anybody. And I think that is going to upset the industry greatly. We're already seeing consolidation among the MVPDs. There's always talk of Dish and DirecTV trying to merge again. And I think the combination of that and the pressure they're getting from these, what they call OTTs, with the success of Netflix with their Emmys and Golden Globes, and it's good content. Xbox is talking about original productions for next year. Amazon's doing more. All of a sudden, there's this other sources of getting great original content, and I think the whole concept of how the cable telco satellite industry has been structured is going to change greatly, and I think it's going to start with IP delivered, and that's going to change how the industry does business, and how consumers can get their content.
So, Greg, if you were a media CEO, what would you tackle to make sure your company was poised for tomorrow?
I think you have to bridge that fence. You still, obviously, linear is still the cash cow today, and you still have to protect that. And we see that so much that content providers are still protecting their deals with the MVPDs, and they're been reluctant to venture into some of this new world. But you have to be investing in this new digital world. Not only investing, but you have to start taking some big chances. It's this digital tsunami is hitting everybody at lightning speed. Where we were looking at 5-year plans, or should not be 5-month plans. In my previous company, throughout where we started in January and where we ended up in December was very different in this world. There were so many unplanned projects, deals that came up, and it happens very quick, and you have to keep pace with it. And we're not talking about, on linear where maybe you're expanding something. We're talking about new platforms and new ways that people are viewing this content. The latest thing is the watch, the connected watch. Who would have thought of that, or, even a year ago? And how's that going to impact things? When the tablet came out, everyone thought, oh, what am I going to do with this thing? Well, who doesn't have one now? It's become part of our ecosystem between our phones and our tablets now. Meaning, is the PC dead? It's that big question. So you have to kind of keep one foot in where the money's coming in, the revenue's coming in now, but you got to keep that other foot in stepping in the future. And it's tough to bridge both worlds, and you have to be experimentative. You have to take some chances. You can't be afraid of it. You can't shut yourself off to it. It's a very different world, and you have to look at all aspects of it. You can't fit the square peg of digital into the round hole of linear. It doesn't work, and you have to open yourself up and see what's coming next.